Welcome back to the Maelstrom, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Warhammer 40K battle report for you today, set in the ATC testing phase. So we are on Draft 11. We will have a link in the description to that to give you the full mission of what we're playing. However, a brief rundown, we are playing progressive objectives, so you score points for the objectives you hold each turn after the first, right? Or does it? Okay. After the first. After the first. The secondary objective is Purge the Alien, and the third objective is Table Quarters at game's end. So there are 6 objectives on the table. They are represented by the gun batteries. We have one here, one there, one in the center, one on this side of the rubble, one there, and the final one down there. The Blood Angels will be in that corner. This is Vanguard Strike, so the Eldar will be here. 1,850 points, and I just spoiled the armies for you. So Blood Angels and Craftworlds over this fortified mess in the snow. So you have seen the table. We will be right back with the Blood Angels, 1850.
Okay, so my combined arms detachment, my HQ and my Warlord is Sanguinary Priest, and he rolled Heroic Bearing, so all friendly models within 12 inches of him will be fearless. Then for my troops, I have a 5-man tactical squad with a Razorback that is Las Cannon Twin Link Plasma Gun, and a 10-man tactical squad with a Heavy Flamer and a Flamer in a drop pod. Then for my elites, I have a Furioso Dreadnought with a Magna Grapple, Frag Cannon, Heavy Flamer in a drop pod, and a Death Company Dreadnought with a Magna Grapple, Heavy Flamer, and Blood Talons in a drop pod. Then for my heavy supports, I have 8 Devastators with 4 Las Cannons. Then I have a Librarius Conclave using Salamander Chapter Tactics. The Librarians are all Mastery Level 2. The Librarian with the sword rolled on Geokinesis and got Warpquake and Shifting Worldscape, and of course the Primaris Power Chasm. The Power Armored Librarian with the staff rolled on Fulmination and got Magnetokinesis, an Electro Pulse, and the Primaris Electro Surge. And the Tornado Librarian rolled on the Librarius chart for Psychic Fortress, Veil of Time, and Emperor's Wrath. Then rounding out the army, I have an Archangel Sanguine Wing formation with 9 Stern Guard, with 5 Combi Grav Guns and 4 Combi Flamers. And then 2 squads of 5 Vanguard. One of them is 3 Power Swords, 1 Power Axe, and the Power Fist is standing in as a Lightning Claw. And the other is 1 Power Sword, 1 Lightning Claw, 1 Power Axe, and 2 Power Mauls. And then they are attached with a Storm Raven with a Twin Link Multi-Melta and a Locator Beacon.
So there you have the Blood Angels. We have the Craftworlds.
Alright, so I have a combined arms detachment being led by Morgan Ra. He is currently with a squad of 10 Guardians with a Scatter Laser. I have a Farseer on a bike, and he is with 3 bikes with 2 Scatter Lasers. I have 2 squads of 6 Dire Avengers in Wave Serpents with Twin Link Scatter Lasers and Hollow Fields. And I have a 6 Swooping Hawks, a Falcon with a Bright Lance and Hollow Fields. I have a Fire Prism with Hollow Fields, Spirit Stones, and an Underslung Cannon. And then I have an Aspect Host with 5 Warp Spiders, 5 Dark Reapers with Reaper Shot, 5 Fire Dragons in a Wave Serpent with Twin Link Scatter Lasers and Hollow Fields.
Alright, so you have seen the armies and you have seen the table. It is time to get stuck into the Maelstrom. Alright, deployment is complete, starting with the Blood Angels.
So I've only got 2 units to deploy. The Geokinesis Librarian is attached to the Devastators, hiding behind the rocks to prevent an alpha strike from the Eldar in case they seize. And the Power Armored Staff wielding Librarian is inside of the Razorback, hiding behind the Macro Cannon formation for the same reason. Everything else is drop potting or deep striking and coming in from reserve in the Storm Raven.
Alright, and then the Eldar are a little more involved.
Alright, so I've got the Dark Reapers in the Falcon, Dire Avenger Serpent, Fire Dragon Serpent, Dire Avenger Serpent, Fire Prism, Morgan Ra with his Guardian Bodyguard as always, Hawks, Spiders, and Farseer with his bikes.
Alright, so as of right now, the Blood Angels are going first. Do the Eldar wish to seize?
I do.
See if we can do it.
Nope.
With a 2, they do not. So Blood Angels are going first. We will be back following the top of turn 1.
Okay, so first turn the Devastators ascended the rock slope. slung their snap shooting las cannons down the pipe at the Wave Serpent directly in front of them. We did manage to get a hit, but rolled a 1 for armor penetration. Then, my Death Company Dreadnought fired his melt-a-gun at the Fire Prism. He deigned not to jink. I hit and rolled a 3. My Furioso came in first and decided to back off and take cover, kind of lessen the incoming fire. And my Razorback squad has run pell-mell towards the center of the table, trying to provide as much supporting fire in the future turns as possible.
Alrighty, so that is Blood Angels 1. Eldar response coming up. Eldar turn 1.
Alright, so we sent the bikes up, the Falcon up, the Wave Serpent here moved and it has flat outed. This Wave Serpent moved and flat outed. Spiders jumped forward, shot, got 3 glancers on the Dreadnought and killed it, and then battle focused back. The Fire Dragons killed the drop pod and battle focused back. Fire Prism shot at the Devastators and killed 3 of them. The rest of the scatter lasers and Morgan Ross shots fired at the Death Company drop pod and got it down to 1 hull point remaining.
Alright, so that is turn 1. Oh, what else?
Falcon tried to shoot the Rhino, the Razorback, and did nothing.
Alright, so that's turn 1. Blood Angel response and some reserves. Coming up. Blood Angels, turn 2.
Okay, so everything came in from the reserves. The last tactical squad and the Archangel's wing. The Stern Guard and the Storm Raven killed the Farseer and his 3 bodyguard with grab guns and with assault cannons and a multi-melta. The Vanguard hit the table. The squad on the far flank had a decent run to get into 4+ cover for any incoming Wrens. The squad on the right rolled a 1. They're probably going to eat a whole lot of fire next turn.
Yeah.
The tactical squad fell out of their drop pod and took shots at the rear armor on the Wave Serpent, but did not manage to get anything through. The Razorback and the Devastators did manage to make it jink and knock a hull point out of it. And David was the MVP for the turn. He rolled a 5 to go into terrain, and then rolled an 8 on a reroll to charge for the Magna Grapple, and crushed the Fire Prism in 1 go in close combat.
So lots of Eldar dead. So that is Blood Angels turn 2. We will be back as what are we going into? Bottom of 2, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. So bottom of 2 coming up. Eldar turn 2.
All right. So Guardians moved up, shot, and wiped out this Vanguard unit. These spiders they moved up, shot this Vanguard, killed 2, battle focused, and then in the assault phase moved back here. This Serpent shot, did nothing. This Falcon shot at David the Dreadnought, did nothing, but the Fire Dragons finished it off. That Serpent fired at the Stern Guard squad, but bounced off the Terminator's armor. This squad disembarked and fired at this squad here. Only managed to kill the Heavy Flamer guy, but at least it was the Heavy Flamer that died. Their Serpent moved up and flat outed towards that objective. The Swooping Hawks came in, killed a couple of the Devastators, and then shot and battle focused 4 inches backwards.
Alrighty, so a little bit of a bloody turn there. Killed some more stuff off, but the Blood Angels are still very much in this. We will be back following Blood Angels turn 3. Blood Angels turn 3.
Okay, so this turn we launched a ton of charges, particularly against his vehicles. But shooting, the Storm Raven and the Razorback opened fire on the Dire Avengers and put 4 of them down, but they passed their morale check. Then the Devastators and the Razorback squad charged this empty Wave Serpent, killed it in close combat. The Stern Guard charged this Wave Serpent full of Dire Avengers, encircled it, and killed it in close combat, killing the squad inside. The tactical squad on the far board edge rolled an 11 and encircled the Dark Reapers in the Falcon and killed their ride in close combat, killing everyone inside. And the Vanguard declared a charge against the Fire Dragons. He hit with 3 of his Overwatch shots, killed 2 of the Marines, then in combat lost one man and broke and ran. The Vanguard fell back into the trench to try to hold the objective back here a little longer. And I think that's it.
Alright, so bloody turn. Lots of Eldar roasting in their tanks. Sweet sounds to non-Eldar, not so much to those of the endangered species race. So Eldar response, however, is coming up. We will be back after that. Eldar turn 3.
Alright, so the Hawks, not really having any good thing to do, they decided that they were going to hop back off the table and come back another day. The Fire Dragons regrouped, snapshot at the one Vanguard. The Exarch managed to hit, rolled a 1 to wounds, but he used his reroll to wound the guy, but then he made his cover save. But we finished him off with the Wave Serpent. These guys moved up, shot, killed 2 guys, and battle focused back. The Spiders jumped out, only managed to kill 1 because he passed his armor saves, and they did fall back, and the Spiders battle focused a little bit further. Dire Rangers there attempted to kill some more of these guys before they fell back, but did nothing.
Alrighty, so we're going into turn 4. And we will see where the end of the Blood Angels response brings us. Blood Angels turn 4 is complete.
Not as much damage this turn. There's not as much stuff out there on the battlefield for either player to kill at this point. The Stern Guard and the Razorback finished off the Dire Avenger squad, and the Tactical squad in the middle knocked down a Fire Dragon, but they passed the morale check. The last 2 Las Cannon wielding Devastators threw a shot through the gap, and through its cover save, still managed to get a Glancer through on that last Wave Serpent.
Alright, so as he said, not as much damage, but forces are starting to dwindle somewhat. Eldar response in the bottom of 4 coming up. Eldar turn 4.
Alright, so the guys here, they moved up, shot this squad, killed a couple out of it, and battle focused to move even further. The Warp Spiders had moved around here, shot into him, and had declared battle focus, killed all but 1, so I was not able to assault him because of the battle focus, but I rolled a 6 and got into the terrain. This Wave Serpent failed to kill the last guy. The Fire Dragons moved and ran and got within range of that objective. Swooping Hawks came in, dropped their Logic Blast on the Devastators, did not do anything to them, but with their regular shooting did manage to kill 1, and they did break and run 7 inches, so not enough to make them go off the table, but they are there.
Alright, so that is the end of turn 4.
And Morgan Raw split fired into the drop pod and managed to take 2 hull points.
Alright, so 2 whole points from the drop pod. Alright, so that is Eldar 4. Turn 5 coming up, and we will run through those 2 halves and then see if we have a 6. Blood Angels turn 5.
Okay, so the Razorback squad and the 2 Librarians knocked 4 of the 5 Swooping Hawks down. The Devastators charged and whiffed in close combat, so they're locked in combat at least. He's not going to jump out on me again. The Lone Tactical Marine, all steel, man. He charged those 5 Spiders by himself to eat the Overwatch, and then the Stern Guard failed him by rolling a 3 for their charge range. The Storm Raven came on from reserve, and the Assault Cannon wiped out the remaining 3 Fire Dragons, and the Multi-Melta managed to knock a whole point out of the last Wave Serpent.
Alright, so going into Eldar, and then we will see if we have a turn 6. Turn 5 rolls to an end.
Alright, so we backed the Wave Serpent up onto that objective in case there's another turn. Snapshot down at the Lone Marine here, did nothing. Moved the Guardians further up. Fire the majority at this unit. I think I killed a couple. Morgan fired 1 at the lone guy, and the rest of his shots here. Again, the lone guy still survived. The Scatter Lady split fire into the pod, did nothing. War Spiders shot at these guys. Again, we got a couple dead. There was a total of 4 dead from that, from shooting. Morgan and his squad went ahead and charged the lone guy. We beat him in close combat. War Spiders charged. His Librarian challenged and is locked in combat with the Exarch, but it was nothing but a slap fest. No wounds on either side. The Devastators, on the other hand, did better. They managed to club the poor Exarch Swooping Hawk to death.
Alrighty, so that is the bottom of 5. We're going to roll to see if we have a 6. And we do on a 3+. So we will be back following Blood Angels turn 6. Blood Angels turn 6 is in the books.
Oh my gosh, my shooting dice were terrible until I got to the Razorback. Everything that could see and had range fired at Morgan Ra and his Guardian escort, whatever, and did nothing. Not a single wound. Until the Razorback fired, and he killed 3 Guardians by himself. The Storm Raven also Power the Machine Spirited the multi-melted onto the Wave Serpent, but we got nothing. That's it. That was the combat here. I forgot about that. We killed 2 Warp Spiders. The Exarch attempted to hit and run, rolled a 6, so he's hung.
Alright, so turn's getting a little short, but there are a lot of dead dudes all over this table. So Eldar turn 6 coming up. Eldar turn 6.
Alright, so the Wave Serpent managed to fire and take out the last hull point on the pod. Scatter Laser here, fired, got 2 Glancers on the Razorback, but he made both of his 5-up cover saves. Morgan moved and assaulted the squad. He managed to kill 2, but then the Librarian managed to brain the Swooping Hawk, the Warp Spider Exarch for a drawn combat.
Alright, so know what's going on there, but game is winding down. See if we've got a turn 7 or not.
We do.
And we do. So we have a 4 there in that. So we'll be back following Blood Angels. Turn 7 Blood Angels are finished up.
Okay, so we the Storm Raven finished off. No, the Storm Raven did not. The Storm Raven left the Wave Serpent at 1 hull point, and the Razorback down here fired through the gap, through his Jinx save, and killed the last Wave Serpent. The 2 Librarians rolling around with the Razorback squad benefited from magnetokinesis, jumped 18 inches, rapid fired their bolters, and fired the Primaris power off of Fulmination and killed all of the Guardians, even through their cover saves. And then we had a gong show in close combat.
So nothing there. Nothing there, huh?
Morgan Ra is the last one on the table right now.
So that is the only Eldar still breathing, yes?
Yes.
He's stuck in a challenge with the Terminator Librarian.
Yggdrasil is being cut shorter and shorter on men day by day. But we do have bottom of the turn coming down. See what can happen there with Morgan Ra. We will be right back with that and final results.